Good morning. It is Wednesday, May 20th. It is time for a reading assignment. It's your last day of the week of having to hear me talk to you about your assignments. Tomorrow you have your assessments. Friday you'll be doing some reading. But today we're going to finish up our reading lessons. Monday we learned about what two W words. Let's see if you can remember. We talked about 5 W words that help us with reading. The first two were who. What was the other one? Oh, who and where. And Tuesday was what and when. So we've done who, where, what, when. What do you think? What W word do you think we're going to be using today? Who, what, where, when. Did you think of it? Why? Why doesn't sound like it starts with a W, but it does. Why? Why do we have to do this, Mrs. Bessinger? It's probably a word you use quite often, right? Like this. Why? Why? It's not nice, neat letters. Sometimes maybe get a little mixed up with the little weavy wobby things in there. But why did he go to the nurse? Why did he go to the nurse? Why would you go to the nurse? Oh, you might go to the nurse if you're not feeling well, right? If you're sick. Well, I have a couple of stories I'm going to read. You can read along with me. I would love it if you did. And then we're going to talk a little more about why. So the first story I'm going to read is Jack's Tale. After dinner, we munched on some ginger snaps. Then Jack shared an outlaw tale. This happened out here in the West a long time back, said Jack, in an age when there were no cars and no planes. Back then, if you had to send a letter, you sent it by stagecoach. Oh, that's one of our tricky words that we had on the yellow cards up on the board this year. The stagecoach was sort of like a car, but it was drawn by horses. There was a place where men could sit inside, but the man who drove the stagecoach sat outside up on top. There's the picture, just in case you are not looking in your book. Then he said, "Excuse me, gents." Oh, wrong page for me, sorry. The man who drove the stagecoach kept the strong box next to him. The strong box was a locked box where he kept the cash. Sometimes outlaws would rob the stagecoach. Those outlaws were bad men, but there was one who some said was a bit better than the rest. His name was Bart. Bart was a sharp dresser. He did his robbing in a jacket and a black top hat. He had the best manners you ever saw, and when he robbed, he did not yell and shout at the man that he was robbing. Not Bart. He tipped his hat. There's Bart, and he is wearing a mask. Why do you think he's wearing a mask? Why? Oh, maybe so they didn't recognize him? Then he said, "Excuse me, gents. Would you be so fine as to pass down the strong box with the cash in it?" "No," said Nan. "Yes," said Jack. "It's not just a legend, it's a fact. You can look it up." "Did they catch him?" Max asked. "Nope," said Jack. "He came back and robbed the stagecoach lots of times." "Did they ever catch him?" I asked. "Yes, after a long hunt, they nabbed him. They charged him with theft and locked him up for a long time. He did his time. Then they let him back out." "Then what happened?" I asked. Jack said, "Bart shaped up in the end, and when they let him out, he said he was finished with crime." That's cool, said Max. There's his hat, and there's the cash. Okay, I've got another one, the visit. After telling us the tale, Jack said, "It's time to pack up the food." We stuffed the food into a large pack with a rope on it. Jack tossed the rope up into a tree and hoisted the food pack up so that it was hanging 10 feet off of the ground. I wonder why they did that. Why would they have to hang their food 10 feet off the ground? There must be a reason. Why? "Pawpaw," said Max, "why do we have to keep the food up in the tree?" "Because it will keep the food safe from foxes and raccoons that would like to snack on it," Jack said. There they are, hanging it up. After that, we crawled into the tents, flipped off our lanterns, and went to sleep. Nan and I slept well until a loud clatter outside woke us up. "What was that?" I asked. "I can't tell," said Nan, as she hugged me close to her. There they are. They're snoozing away. Jack ran outside with his lantern and yelled, "Get out of here! Scram! Get lost!" When we went out, we saw Jack and Max standing there. Jack had his lantern. "Jack," Nan asked, "who came to visit?" "I did not see it," said Jack, "but I'm betting it was a fox who was looking for some scraps of food. He bumped into the pots and pans. The clatter of the pots and pans must have scared him off." "Is that why we hoisted the food pack up in the tree?" Max asked. "That's why," said Jack. There they are. They're all standing outside talking about it. Did you see that? Max even asked, why? Why did we have to hang our food up so high? I don't get it. Why? Is it okay to ask why? Absolutely. Why will also help you in your reading if you go back and say why. And when you are asked questions in a book, is it okay for you to pick up your book and look back to try to find the answer? Absolutely. Look for the answer so that you give the right answer when you are answering a question. See you later.